need to have a good vent at work? At times, I guess most of us need to let out and express emotions, feelings and beliefs which might be hurtful to other people or damaging to our relationships. So, although this is a really human need, huge problems occur when this becomes a pattern or a norm at work. It leads to unkind chuntering by the water cooler, gossiping behind closed doors, speaking badly of people when they're not in the room, personal criticisms, passive-aggressive banter, and worse, all of which erodes trust, goodwill, and cooperation. Healthy venting is an alternative. So, what is this? And how do you model this as a leader with your teams? Healthy venting can be key in helping you take care of your own emotional well-being and purge the strong feelings which might be leaking into your interactions with colleagues, but without the risk of harming your relationships with those people. It can also be embedded into work with your colleagues and teams. So, at an individual level, consider creating a contained space, place and time to healthily vent in a way that works for you. So this might be with a trusted person or people, ideally away from your workspace or where you won't be overheard. Get things off your chest, share your feelings and frustrations. Expressing these openly and healthily can really unblock your energy and help you to think far more clearly. For some people, private journaling works really well as an alternative. At a team level, healthy venting can be hugely beneficial. Here's an example from Eric, who worked with me recently. Eric leads several shift teams of warehouse assistants in a large distribution centre, and he was concerned about arguments and tension amongst his teams, which were kind of creating an unhappy work environment in the department and distribution centre and causing breakdowns in communication, slowing down the warehouse operation and negatively affecting efficiency and profitability. When Eric learned about healthy venting on my leadership programme, he decided to try more openly acknowledging and discussing the pent-up frustrations in his team. And I listened with fascination as he described to me what he'd done and how he'd put this into practice. And he said, "Jeanne, I've called it the wellness space. In the middle of every shift, we all come together and I facilitate a conversation. I ask each person in turn to say out loud what they're cross, frustrated, worried or stressed about with how the operation is running that day or that week. They can say exactly how they're feeling and take the chance to really get things off their chest." He said, "The rule is that you can name people involved, but you don't blame anyone else and you don't personally criticise people. You just stick with describing what's happening and why it's causing you a problem." Once everyone has had their chance, he said, the floor is then open to any comments on what has just been said. And only after the conversation on that topic has come to a natural end and people have vented what they need to, do we agree that there'll be no more moaning. And then we move on to working out what to do and how to solve the issues. He said, "Sometimes I need to get involved in the conversations, but often, it's just a case of clearing the air, enabling people to feel heard, and then most of the time they're willing to go off and sort out problems between themselves." I recently followed up with Eric to ask him whether he'd noticed any impact from implementing this healthy venting approach. And he emailed me back and listed several tangible changes in bullet points in the email. And these are his words. More open and honest conversations are occurring naturally in everyday interactions because people are understanding how their colleagues think, feel and like to communicate. Next bullet point was, there have been indirect professional development lessons learned from the discussions, such as how to maturely and fairly approach difficult conversations. Another bullet point, people have less built-up frustrations, which would normally lead to outbursts that aren't directly aimed at each other, but tend to explode because of their built-up anger. And fourthly, created a more collaborative working environment. Everyone understands each other's work better and seems to value each other more. Eric seemed quite surprised when I told him that in my 3 decades of experience, the leadership he is offering his team with this healthy venting approach is far more emotionally intelligent, courageous, skilled and sophisticated than many managers and leaders I've worked with who are twice his age and more. Frustrations are inevitable when human beings are trying to get good work done together. By learning how to lead in more human-focused ways, you'll improve your relationships, influence and culture in your teams. Together, we can be the culture change. Join us. I'll look forward to connecting with you again really soon.